Thank you for joining us tonight for our nutrition talk. Again, tonight we're talking about 3 ways to prioritize our mental health, and we're going to go over 3 ways that that our food and the things that we are eating are affecting that. So it's really exciting. And again, we already let Marie talk, but we're excited that she is partnering with us. And if you guys are in need of some recovery at all, please give her a shout out. We'll have her cards. I have a stack of her cards. I'll keep them at the gym. We'll also be sending this recording out through email, and we'll have her link to schedule there as well. So you guys have heard me say this before, but here at CrossFit Preferred, we believe in a habit-based approach to nutrition, which supports a lifestyle change, not a quick fix. We're looking for something that's going to help you to see changes a year or 2 years or 3 years from now. If you're current clients of ours, you understand that process and you know that that's super important to us. And that might mean that things move a little bit slower at first, but our idea for success is not 20-pound loss in 1 month. It's to help you to live your daily life and understand how to incorporate healthy habits for a long period of time so that we can see changes forever and not just for this first few months of, when the excitement is there. So since COVID, the world has been significantly increased in these battling anxiety and depression and substance abuse and suicide. I have seen it in my own family, in people that I love and care about. I had a cousin commit suicide during this time. I know other people have had issues with family members or friends that have kind of tried to cope through this in ways that aren't always healthy. So today we're going to talk about what mental health is, why it's important, and through 3 ways to prioritize your health through mental health.
So what is mental health? Mental health, it includes emotional, physiological, and social well-being. Thinking of mental health being the driver of a car. Our car is our body. The driver decides where and when to turn, how long the trip will take, and even the destination. Our mental health, it affects how we think, how we feel, how we act, and our ability to handle situations day to day, our ability to relate to our surroundings, the choices and the decisions we make every day. So why is this important? If we're not prioritizing our mental health and it declines, we're unable to make good decisions.
So while our mental health affects our ability to handle stressors and what decisions we make, it has far more impact on our body than we may think it does. People with depression have a 40% higher chance of developing cardiovascular disease. Those battling depression have an increased risk of diabetes, stroke, general pain, osteoporosis, and even Alzheimer's disease, which is really interesting to me. Something that I've noticed with aging parents and in-laws is that this is actually something that I have seen kind of affect family members as they've gotten older. And it's really interesting to me because you don't think about that in older adults until it's family. And then you're like, oh my gosh, And so it makes me realize, like I said, as I'm getting older, how important it is to take a holistic approach. That's why we talk about taking a holistic approach to things, is because it's not just about the foods we eat. It's about the environment and how we handle stress and all of those things. So how does mental health affect our body? It increases stress, and our depression increases. We also have inflammation in our body due to our mental health. It affects our heart function, our hormone health, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, and it can even affect our metabolism. So now we're going to talk about 3 ways you can start prioritizing your mental health. So number 1 is schedule a time to move. This one might come easy to a lot of you. You guys are all members of the gym, but it's not easy to everybody. Hopefully my sister doesn't get mad at me for picking on her a little bit, but I have a sister who this doesn't come easy to her. She has a hard time just because she doesn't enjoy it. She doesn't really enjoy exercise, but she likes to be active. So we're going to actually talk about that in a second, is finding something that you enjoy doing. So have you ever heard the phrase movement is medicine? That's 100% true. Exercise has been shown to reduce depression and anxiety by over 30%. Exercise has been proven to treat a variety of mental health conditions, including depression, anxiety, eating disorders, bipolar disorders, schizophrenia, addictions, grief, dementia, and personality disorders. Exercise can be used as a standalone treatment for some mild conditions or in conjunction with other treatments for more severe issues. I have a really good friend who has an online nutrition and fitness coaching presence on Instagram. And the way she got into it was for this very reason. She struggled with mental health, which she struggled with depression. And she found that when she exercised, particularly kickboxing, she really liked kickboxing. She felt much better. Like that was how she dealt with her anxiety and depression. And that turned into something that she used as medicine throughout like getting married and having kids, and now she's able to help other people do the same thing. And I have seen the results in my own life with exercise, but now I'm starting to see it in my kids too. So my kids that are more active, whether they're exercising or just like being outside and like being active, they're happier. They're so much happier. Like, have you ever, and I know you've dealt with this, like if Ben's on the computer or if Ben's on the TV, like he's grumpy. He's grumpy.
Yeah.
And that's how my kids are. And I remember when they were younger, my girls, like if they watched TV in the mornings, they were so grumpy. And so I would like, they'd wake up one morning and there'd be a note on the TV, no TV this morning. And they're like, oh crap. But it really, I start to see it in my own kids. And that's why, you know, setting a good example for your kids is one thing, but then like actually making sure they're put in things, or if they don't like to like exercise, give them something else to do. Like Maya loves to skateboard or go on bike rides, or when it's nice out, she'll even go for a run. She likes to be alone. So she likes to exercise by herself, which I'm the total opposite. But that is her time to kind of like, that's how she rejuvenates, is exercising alone. Where all my other kids, they play sports, and so they want to be in a group setting. So just find what you like. So how does exercise have this significant of an impact? It increases levels of serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine in our brains. And we talked a little bit about this earlier, but those serotonin levels are really important. It leads to feeling mentally healthy, and exercise will enhance our mood and energy while decreasing stress. Movement can also improve our cognitive functioning, and it can lead to higher self-esteem, which may lead to improved social well-being. So I had an experience where a family member of mine was kind of struggling. And so we set up a plan to work out twice a week. And even though that was not very much, it was doable. It was manageable. So that kind of goes back to like us setting habits that are manageable. It was 2 more times and they were working out. And it really, over time, you know, there was some resistance at first, but over time it became something that they really looked forward to, and they felt better. Even though sometimes it was like, at the moment they weren't really loving it, but then afterwards they felt better. So 3 suggestions on how to do this. Schedule your workout like any other appointment. For me, like I have to do it in the morning, get it done, or because I know there's a lot of things that'll come up in my day if I don't. And when my kids were really little, that for sure was the only time I could do it. So if it's just like, if you wouldn't skip a doctor's appointment, treat it that same way. Schedule it in, make it a non-negotiable. That's something I tell my clients a lot. If your plate is full, your nutrition and your exercise are non-negotiables. They are not something that you take off your plate. Those stay on your plate. You can look for other things to remove from your plate. Get an accountability buddy. That's what CrossFit does for me. It's my accountability for sure. But if you aren't a part of a small gym, then just go tell someone else your fitness plan, so you can at least check in. They can at least check in with you. My older sister used to CrossFit with us, and then she had some setbacks and some surgeries and decided that she was going to try some other things. And she just has had a real hard time like getting into a routine and finding something that really worked for her. And I finally told her, I was like, Colette, you've got to go join a community. Like that's what you liked about CrossFit. You need to go join a gym that has that community aspect so that you have that accountability. And so she did about a month ago, and she loves it.
I'm so
And I'm
happy.
so
Mhm.
happy for her, and she's
Yeah,
being super consistent.
that's
It
good.
doesn't matter what you do, guys. Like, just find something you enjoy, and that
Mhm.
kind of gives me back to my other sister. She loves volleyball, so she will find groups of women to play volleyball with. She
That's
loves
awesome.
to dance, so she'll do random dance parties in the kitchen with her kids, or anytime
Yeah,
she's here, they're doing dance parties with my kids. Like,
that's
that's a
awesome.
big thing for her. And she also likes to be in nature, so she'll
Mhm.
like go on hikes and stuff. But she absolutely hates lifting weights. She
Yeah.
doesn't like to lift. She doesn't like to squat,
Mhm.
and that's
Mhm.
okay. Like, don't go do something you don't want to
No,
do.
'cause
You'll
it makes
hate
it
it and you
worse.
won't do it again.
Yeah.
Find something you enjoy, move in ways that you like, and set a goal for yourself and
Mhm.
make sure it's an attainable goal.
Yep. Tip number 2 is incorporating a balanced diet. One thing that I'm starting to learn is a lot of our depression, anxiety, all of that stuff, as many people say that it's all mental, it actually starts in your gut. And so having a healthy diet will really actually help with your mood.
Mhm.
I know that if I eat really good all day, I feel great
Yeah.
and I feel really good for the rest of the day
Mhm.
and then leading into the next day.
Mhm.
So definitely finding a good food, really great proteins, vegetables, fruits are great ways to keep with a good diet.
And there's been a lot of studies that show that your gut bacteria leads to a lot of autoimmune
Hmm.
diseases.
Yep.
And that's something my mom's really big into. She has an autoimmune disease and
Hmm.
she's been working for years to restore her gut health.
Yep.
In fact, we have another nutrition client, Chelsea,
Hmm.
same thing.
Yep.
She spent years restoring her gut health
Hmm.
and finally got it to a place where it's healthy now. And now
Yeah.
she's like trying to build up her, like, try new foods
Yeah.
and create a new food plan that has more than she could eat in the
Yep.
past. But gut health is super important, and it's a lot of times overlooked or medicated in other ways
Yep.
instead of looking for ways to heal
Totally.
that your gut so that
Hmm.
those other symptoms kind of go away.
Yep. Yep. So serotonin is often known as the happiness hormone. But did you know that this hormone impacts our entire body, affecting things like sleep, eating, feelings, mood, or digestion? Um, Serotonin receptors are found within our gut, like we were saying, and balancing good and bad bacteria in our gut directly related to our diet has a strong connection with disease, including depression and anxiety.
So those food that you guys choose really do matter.
Yeah. And then you can check out this great podcast to learn more about the foods that we eat and how it helps.
Yeah, this is a really good one. I think all three of us listened to it.
Mhm.
It's only about 30-35 minutes. But this is the Nutrition Made Easier podcast that um, we use them as our coaching for our
Mhm.
nutrition program. So they just have a lot of really great information, and you can check out any of their episodes. But this one specifically talks about mental health and how it affects our overall health.
Now that we know why incorporating a balanced diet is important for our mental health, here is a helpful tip to use: the plate method. We talk about this all the time with our clients. The plate method is half of your plate non starchy veggies, a quarter of your plate starchy veggies, and then another quarter of your plate protein. This will help you figure out, what you can eat. And even if you're out to eat, this is great for going out, and you go out to eat and you get kind of, it can be overwhelming at times knowing what is right to eat, or whatever, what helps you feel good. So sticking to the plate method is a great way to do it.
And it's also a really good place to start if you guys are just starting to focus on nutrition.
Hmm.
Like, people think you got to jump right into macros. You definitely don't.
No.
This is a really good starting point, is
Hmm.
using the plate method, and just keep things really, really simple. You have your protein, you have your veggie, you have your carb.
Hmm.
This helps you with portion sizes
Yep.
so that you don't have to wonder, am I eating too much? Am I eating too little? And then your fat is just like a small add-on. We talk about the hand method is another model that we use for portion sizes, but your fat should be the size of your thumb.
Yep.
So, like if you think about like oils or avocado or cheese or something like that, like that's about the size. Men, you guys get 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. And so we talk a lot about meals and how you can do the plate method with your meals, but also your snacks are very important. Having a snack throughout the day will help keep you full longer and ready for your next meal. It helps keep you from feeling tired in the afternoon. So making sure that you have well-rounded snacks to get you through the day so that, you know, you can make better decisions. You're not binging when you get home trying to make dinner. So trying to make sure that you have a protein, a fat, and a healthy carb or a carb.
Yes. We know what you mean.
Yes. In those snacks will help you stick to the right track.
Well, and something that I want to mention real quick is that adding it, fat used to get a bad rap, but fat will actually help you stay full longer. So the snacks, like I always make sure I have fat in my snacks
Same.
because that helps tie me over to dinner or whatever. And fat, there are certain vitamins that are only soluble with fat. So they're fat soluble vitamins. So it's super important to get that fat in. Long time ago, when I was a kid, everything was fat free or low fat, and now we're learning that a high fat diet is actually really healthy for aging and for a lot of health benefits to higher fat. And so don't be afraid of the fat, and if you want more ideas on how to incorporate fat, we definitely can give you plenty of the ideas because we all like the higher fat diets as well. So
Yep. And then the last one is aiming to drink 60 to 80 ounces of water each day. This is really big out here, especially in Arizona, where we need, now that we're getting into summer, we really need to make sure that we stay on top of our water. Research has shown that dehydration can increase your risk of anxiety and depression. If you struggle to drink enough water throughout the day, then you can always carry a bottle with you and drink out of a straw. I always have my giant water bottle and I carry that everywhere with me, and there's a straw in it. And then when I go home, I put it in here. And
yeah,
then
I have a different one at home than I do at the gym.
Yeah. So I have my giant water bottle and then I transfer it into here and then finish off the rest of my water. But drinking from a straw helps really well. I don't know why, but I feel like I get more water in than if I was to drink it just straight from a cup.
It depends. So like I will drink more water from a straw throughout the day, but then at night, sometimes I'm really thirsty.
Yeah.
And I want room temperature. I don't want it to be cold.
Right.
And I will just like chug like 10 swallows of water.
Yeah.
So like if it's just throughout the day, I like a straw.
Yep.
Then at night I usually drink like a bunch, and in the morning too. So after I brush my teeth, I always finish off the water that I have brought to bed with me, and it's like room temperature, and so I can just chug it. And at the gym too, like I have the mouth opening, but a lot of times I'll just unscrew that and like chug it. A tip I learned a long time ago, and then if you have a tip you want to give too, is every time you pick up your water, just take 10 swallows. 10 is kind of a lot. So like if that's too much, do 5. Like whatever, like find something that's doable.
Right.
But just count those swallows like every time. My mom growing up, she had a watch, like those old sports watches. Every hour her watch would beep. It drove us kids insane. But it was her water watch.
I love that.
And she would drink her water when her timer went off. I'm like, Mom, time to drink your water. But it worked for her. So just find something that works. Do you have a tip that you use?
I think for me, the easiest thing is I pair it with something I'm doing, or like I'll be like, okay, I have to do like wash like 3 bowls and then like take a sip of water or something like that. I don't know. That helps me. Just always, or if I switch the laundry, I take like 5 gulps of water or something like that. I don't know. That's always seemed to help me, because especially like in a busy day, like just remembering to take a sip or 5 sips or whatever as soon as you're done with something.
For sure. I also will set water goals for my day. So like if I want to drink 80 ounces of water in a day, I want to have half of that done by noon or 1. Actually, I try and do it by noon just because I feel like I drink more water in the morning than I do
Yeah,
I do
for
too.
sure.
later
Yeah.
in the day.
Yep.
So I have like a cutoff time. Like if I haven't had this much water by then I need to at least have that.
Mhm.
And you can always flavor your water too,
Yeah.
or LaCroix. Like I am obsessed with LaCroix. I
Mhm.
drink way more water when I have a LaCroix or
Yeah.
some kind of flavoring. So just find a little trick.
Yep.
All right. And number
Hey,
3.
quick question. Can I ask something here? This is
Yeah.
Dylan, by the way.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, am I the only one? I feel like I like everything, all the supplements that I take, it's like requires drinking stuff, right? Like so I take like protein, that's 8 ounces of water. We drink like magnesium at night, that's another 8 ounces. We do BCAAs, that's like 20 ounces. Do you guys feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm cheating my water goal, but I am drinking a lot of water with those things because I generally like try to drink 100 ounces of water, just straight water, and I don't count that. Is
Oh,
that
no,
cheating?
count
Count
it.
this?
Yeah.
count it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
count
right.
count it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And kind of go off like now that we're talking about water, my mouth feels
I know.
so
Yeah.
dry. But I mean, obviously, when you first try and increase your water intake, it feels like a chore, but eventually you get to a point where like you need that water.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely count all that water for sure. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, great. So tip number 3 is prioritizing positive self-talk. And I feel like when you first hear about it, you're like, this is kind of silly and I don't need to do that. And so you kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
But this is actually something I've always really struggled with. And even since I was like in high school, my mom's like, you need to like think more positive thoughts, like kind of be more like that. And this is something as I've grown and now I'm like reading more and stuff like that. I hear a lot about this of positive self-talk, and I've actually been applying it to myself, and it really works. And I think we don't realize how much our thoughts and our words have power. So positive self-talk is, again, one of those things we hear about, and we never really take the time to really learn about it and really realize that it does impact our mental health. It really does. And a study discussed in the book Soundtracks by John Acuff found that stating positive affirmations just 20 times in a month had a significant effect on more than 10,000 people's mental well-being. And basically, this study found so there are several questions that they were testing, and this is one of them. Does repeating positive affirmation help decrease overthinking? And of course, the answer is yes. Participants were 250% more likely to decrease overthinking. Further, those who said affirmations at least 20 times or more in the given month were 46% more likely to decrease overthinking when compared to the group who repeated affirmations only 5 times in a month.
That's really interesting to me. I have
Yeah.
a daughter who hyper focuses and gets really anxious.
Anxious, yeah.
And I am definitely going to use this for
Yeah.
her. I think
This
this
is
will be
huge.
really good.
Next, they asked, does decreased overthinking increase productivity? Again, yes. When comparing the group that said affirmations 20 times versus the group who said affirmations 10 times, worked 9 more days per month towards their goals. They also had a 21% higher satisfaction rating as they felt better about their work and got more of it done. To me, this shows that when you believe in yourself, you are more productive and satisfied with your work, which is so true because I like to look at the workouts like the day before. And sometimes if it's a workout that has like wall balls, push-ups, all of it in one, I'm like, oh, there's no way. I'm not finishing this workout. But then I remember, I'm like, no, I will finish this workout. I don't care if I'm the last person, I will finish it and I will do my best. And I always finish the workout, you know, and I always get through it. And I think if we focused more on that and paid a little bit more attention to our thoughts, we would have better days.
That's something that I have noticed with myself and coaching. When I used to coach classes more, and we would work on like hitting PRs or heavy lifts. Actually the guy that introduced me to CrossFit, the previous owner of CrossFit Preferred, he actually was a really big in visualizing. And so back squats are my nemesis. I don't like back squats, but I would close my eyes and visualize myself getting the lift before. And every once in a while I'd have like right before I lifted this doubt come in and I would miss the lift. And then when I did the quarterfinal workouts last month, one of the workouts had 135 pound snatch in it. And that one was 5 pounds more than my max. And I was really nervous about it. And I have a video of me attempting the first one. And what happened is right before I doubted myself. And then when I did the second one, I believed in myself. I visualized myself getting the lift and I got it. And I was super pumped about that. And this last month or two, I've been coaching Millie's volleyball team, all these 11 and 12-year-old girls. And it's been really cool to see them. See 11 and 12-year-old girls, they're just starting to get into that age where it's not cool to be proud of yourself, you know? And so they just don't, they have these negative thoughts that are coming in their head right before they go to serve. They're like, oh no, it's my turn to serve. Oh no. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And so we had to work through that. And before every game, I would point at them and I would say, do you believe in yourself?
Yeah.
Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Then let's do this.
Yeah.
And their serves got so much better because they believed they could.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because they could get the serves over in practice, but then they were missing them in games. And they doubted themselves in a game situation.
Right. Yeah.
And so we changed that. And I told them it's just like practice.
Yeah.
And then they started getting their serves.
Yeah.
So it really proves how important that positive self-talk is.
All right. And then lastly, the study wanted to know if decreased overthinking increases overall success towards goals. And again, the answer is yes. People who decreased overthinking were able to complete 78% more of their goal. This study found that this group was 4 times more likely to reach or almost reach their goal.
That's awesome. So more productive, more chances of reaching their goals, all good things.
Yeah.
And one thing we focus on with our nutrition clients is having positive self-talk, especially with those who are mothers. I'm not a mom, but I definitely have a lot of moms around me. So I definitely see the pressure and also all the load that they take on as a mother. You know, you have to take care of everyone else. And usually you're taking care of everyone else before you're taking care of yourself. And that can lead to some damaging effects to your mental health. And so practicing repeating things to yourself that you value in yourself or hope to accomplish, or even practicing believing in yourself. Just like Tirsa mentioned with the volleyball girls, you know, she went up to them and said, hey, do you believe in yourself? Do that to yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I believe in myself. Like, I can get this done. Like, it will really, really change your day.
Or even having confidence in a goal that you set. Like if you have a nutrition goal or a body composition goal or a fitness goal in the gym, like believing you can actually accomplish it. Something that I noticed with Coach Megan, I was lifting with her last week. I had to find a PR or I had to find a 1 rep max in 3 lifts, and she was lifting with me. The amount of confidence she has when she hits that bar,
it's amazing.
That is one of the biggest differences between her and I is she has so much confidence when it comes to a lift, and I don't. And she knows she's getting it. And if she doesn't, she knows she gave it everything she had. And that I could see it in her instantly. I'm like, wow. It was really, really cool to see.
I felt like that today with the deadlifts. Like, I was really excited to do the 1 rep max deadlift because we had done it, I think it was like a year or so ago when we did it before. So I knew what my number was. And so I knew projected what my number could be. And so I went in, we did with every single deadlift I did, I knew I was going to get it. And then I hit 15 pounds over and I got it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, let's put 2.5s on because I think I got this one too. And I didn't doubt it at all. It wasn't even a thought. And I ended up PRing my deadlift
saw so many PRs
by like 20 pounds.
Yeah, so many.
It was
amazing.
amazing. You PR'd yours.
Yeah.
And then I saw Katie Baker's.
Yes.
That was really cool. And Clay PR'd. So did
Celeste got in the
Celeste
300 club.
I know.
Yeah.
So did Kyle and Beth both PR'd. And so did Mike.
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yep.
Not me.
It's awesome.
That's okay.
So today,
Me, I PR'd.
Jim.
oh
Yay!
oh, he's so today we challenge you to identify 2 positive affirmations that you may or may not believe right now. And basically, we want you to put them, on your mirror or recite them to yourself. One thing that I've started doing is I set alarms, and on the alarm, I'll put something positive about myself.
Oh, I love
that's a great
that.
idea.
So it reminds me,
That's a great idea.
so that's something you can also do if you don't want to write it on your mirror and get it all dirty. Or even journaling, taking some time at night and
love
doing
that.
that will really help. But yeah, do it, every morning for the next 2 weeks, and you'll see what kind of impact you have.
I love that. That's a great idea.
At this point, your handbook should be filled and you are considering your next move to prioritize your mental health. If you are still wondering where to start with your nutrition, here are 3 core tips that have helped our clients reach their health goals. Tip number 1, add more whole foods to your diet. As we talked about before, using the plate method. Using the plate method makes it more possible to eat a balanced meal, and no matter where you're at. You can use it at home, you can use it on vacation, you can use it on a date night. No matter where you go, you can follow this method, and it'll help you feel better at, making choices that make you feel good inside.
Number 2 is focus on balance. So protein, carbs, and fat. You'll hear us say that over and over again, both in your meals and your snacks, and avoiding skipping those snacks. It's just as important to have protein in your snacks as it is your main meals. Like sometimes we think, I don't want to eat meat all day. I only eat meat once a day. All my other proteins come from other sources. So it's, you don't have to sit there and chomp on meat all day. But pairing each meal and snack with all 3 of these macronutrients will keep you feeling full longer for sure.
Yeah, and the last one is limit the added sugar. So the AHA recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 for men. So the average person consumes over 150 pounds of sugar per year. So that's about 46 teaspoons per day. So it's not surprising that sugar is super addicting and feels hidden in almost every food product you find in a package.
Yeah, we don't have to tell you guys that.
Yes.
No.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and open it up to any questions that you guys have. Oh, shoot. It looks like maybe my slides didn't work. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you were able to still understand the things that we were talking about today. Before we close tonight, we want to make sure that you guys feel like you understand those tips that we talked about. We talked about 3 things. We said we want you to schedule a time to move, so schedule your workouts, incorporate a balanced diet, and prioritize positive self-talk. And by doing those 3 things, you're going to help regulate your hormone levels, your serotonin levels. It's going to keep you feeling more positive about yourself, which I know is going to carry over into all the things that you do in a day, as well as the environment that you're in and the people that you're surrounded by. So hopefully you guys can all do that. I got to think of what my positive self saying that I'm going to put in my phone. I love the phone idea.
Yeah.
That's really cool. In fact, I know there's apps out there too that'll generate.
Oh yeah.
There's an app for everything now.
Yeah.
Any questions that you guys have for us? All right. Well, we want to again thank Marie for joining us tonight. And again, if you guys are interested in booking an appointment with her, we will send the link out to schedule. We'll tag her on our social media so that you can go straight to her Instagram and book from her bio. But also we'll be emailing this recording out with a link to schedule with her as well. She's awesome. She does book up. So get in there. And hopefully you guys will be on your way to feeling better, both mentally and physically. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.